Whew. So hey guys, I decided to try and get out and go for a walk, and it's good for your health, good for your heart, good for your eyes, good for everything, just to get away from the screens from time to time. And so I very often come up, walk around the church. It's a good little circle, it's a good place to go. I have been reassured it's about, I think, a kilometer on the way around, or half of one anyway, so good exercise. But gee whiz, it's cold. And I mean, it's really cold. It's one of those days you don't want to work outside of the office. It's one of those days you just don't want to be outside. So, you know what? That's a little better. See, sometimes you just got to go back and you got to do things in your office too. Because sometimes you just got to work from home. And a lot of us are right now too. That's the truth. A lot of us are doing a lot of our work from home. As you all know, a lot of us have to. Some of you are doing your homework through Google Classroom. Some of you are working through things online. Some of you are doing a lot of different things that you never thought you'd have to do before, like clean your room every single day. Or maybe you have to tidy up your workspace, or maybe you have to make a workspace. But no matter what it is, working from home can be a little different. Sometimes it can be necessary, and sometimes it can be for the best. And I say that because even Jesus eventually had to work from home. Because you see, it's a funny thing. Right now, when you think about it, this week is the Sunday for the Ascension. And for those of you who don't know, ascension means to go up. Like if you ascend a escalator, or if you ascend a staircase, or if you, instead of descend, which is down. But to ascend means to go up. It's what you do in a plane and everything else. And when it came to Jesus, this is a time of year where he did exactly that. We remember towards the end of the beginning of the book of Acts and the end of the book of Luke, the gospel reading according to Luke. In both of those cases, he told his followers that he had to go home to his Father. He had to go home. He had to go back to the heavenly places from whence he came. And he had just came back from the dead, so that was a big deal. I mean, he had just gotten back, and no sooner did he finish up talking to the guys about a few last-minute details, he said, all right, guys, I got to go home. Everything else I have to do, I have to go home. I have to go home and prepare things. I have to go home and get spaces ready for you, for everybody, because I have now dedicated my life, and now my new life, to that which I am promising the same for you. I am promising these things, and because I have to get them ready, I gotta go home. And that's the thing. He had to go home not only to prepare a way, just as he did on earth. He taught us the way, the truth, the life. He taught us all the things we needed to know so that we too could follow him back to his heavenly home. So he had to make the way first. He had to cut a path. He had to be the pathfinder, a trailblazer. But in doing so, he went ahead of us, and in getting ready for those things, he's been called the advocate for us. He's gone ahead of us to be our spokesperson, to tell God that we're on the way, that everything is all right. It's also been said that he has gone to make room for us. And, in some ways, I'm pretty sure God could make room in his house for a lot of people. But anybody who knows that there's a guest coming, sometimes that takes time. You need time, you need to prepare. If you've ever seen your parents breaking out the spare bed for if Nanny and Poppy are coming for a visit or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. But in the thick of all of those things, in the midst of it all, what you have to remember is that Christ never left us on our own. Next week, we'll be hearing about, for the day of Pentecost, how the Holy Spirit comes. And when the Holy Spirit comes, it comes to give us all that we need to understand and to prepare ourselves and everybody else for what is to come next. So even though even Jesus had to work from home from time to time, and even though that was difficult because he had to leave all of his friends, his family, and everyone behind to do it, to go home to his heavenly family, we have to understand that sometimes that time apart is necessary in order to get things done. Just like now, we're separated from a lot of our crowd with the intention and the good purpose of making sure that everything is ready for when we can get back together. We don't do this just for fun. We don't do this just to be out of school. We don't do this just so that we can be at home all the time. This is necessary. This is important. Jesus wouldn't have gone ahead of us if it wasn't important. Jesus wouldn't have gone home to do this work, the work that he has started here on earth and the work that he had to continue, if it wasn't important. And sometimes that can be difficult to do this work at home. I don't know if anybody can hear some of the stuff going on in the background, but there's a lot of noise and stuff going on in the other parts of my house. But we still make do as best we can. Because if the Lord could do it, so can we. Like in all things, Jesus has given us a good example. So, I hope you guys are getting stuff done at home. I hope you're being helpful. I hope you're being understanding, patient, and in the meantime, looking forward to what will come next. Because even though we do have to do a lot of this at home, remember, we're together on this. Remember that we are an example to others. Remember that of all the things we can accomplish, being home with our family to get things done is the least we could do. So, on this Ascension Sunday, what I want you to remember is when it's cold and cloudy outside, and when you have to be indoors to get things done or to do the things you want, remember Jesus had to do it too. He had to go home to get things ready, and he still does. He's always working to make sure everything is ready for you. Anyway, God bless you guys, and I might be outside next time, but for now, I think me and Cookie Monster back here are just going to chill out and get the work done here. God bless. I'll talk to you soon.